Gullivers Travel in Lilliput. Long, long ago, in England, there lived a man named Lemuel Gulliver who was a doctor. Though he was a doctor, his main interest was to travel in sea. So he took up a job in the ship as a surgeon. One day, Gulliver set to sail. Suddenly, a storm struck and the passengers in the ship were thrown into the sea. Luckily, Gulliver survived. He reached a land. Gulliver was very tired and hungry and fell fast asleep. Then he opened his eyes.
Ah, my hands and legs. I cannot move them.
To his surprise, his whole body was tied up with fine thin ropes and he was nailed to the ground. He saw a tiny man.
Hey, who are you? And what are you doing?
This is the land of Lilliput, and you are a prisoner in our land.
Where are you taking me now?
We are taking you to our emperor.
They took Gulliver to the emperor's place. A huge crowd was gathered to see him.
Welcome to the land of Lilliput. How did you come here?
My name is Gulliver. Last night our ship got struck in storm and we were thrown into the sea. Luckily, I survived.
This giant man would be of great help to us. He can save us from the Bluffscudians. Gods, make Gulliver stay in the building nearby my palace.
The building was only 4 feet tall and Gulliver had to creep inside to sleep. The Lilliputans started becoming friendly with Gulliver. The little girls and boys played with him. Life went on peacefully for Gulliver until...
Gulliver, you have to save us. The Bluffscudians have declared war on us.
Get me a lot of ropes and iron bars.
He reached the land of Blefuscu. He saw many ships standing in the port. He roped in and hooked all the ships. The Blefuscudians got frightened at his sight. Gulliver took all the ships to Lilliput. The emperor was happy to see him.
The Bluffscudians will be our slaves.
That's not fair, Emperor. We have scared them enough, and they will not even dream of war hereafter.
I'm not happy with your words, Gulliver.
But Gulliver was against it. Hence, the emperor had to release the Blefuscudians.
Mr. Gulliver, thanks for helping us make peace with the Lilliputs. You're welcome to our land.
Oh, we have lost the golden chance. This giant man is of no use to us. We will kill him.
It's time for me to leave this place.
Gulliver proceeded to Blefuscu and lived happily there. One day, he sighted a large rowboat.
Friends, help me set the boat upright.
He worked hard and the boat was ready. He loaded the boat with enough foodstuffs and other supplies needed for the journey. Finally, Gulliver set right to...
Goodbye, my friends.
After a few days at sea, Gulliver sighted a large ship. He got into it and reached England safely. He rushed home to meet his family and narrated the interesting adventures to them. Robin Hood. About 800 years ago, King Richard ruled England. One day the king had to go on a battle.
Brother, I have to go on a battle. Please take care of this country till I return.
But Prince John was a cruel person. He ill-treated his people. In the situation, there lived a man named Robin Hood. He gathered people in the Sherwood forest and started to rob the rich who passed the forest and gave it to the poor. When Prince John heard about Robin Hood,
Ha! We have to kill Robin Hood.
The only way to catch Robin is to hold an archery tournament. Being the best archer, he will surely come.
thus a grand archery tournament was announced. On that day, Robin Hood did come for the tournament, but in a different disguise. He also won the game, and when he went to get his reward,
Guards, arrest this man! He is Robin Hood!
Robin Hood was arrested.
I sentence you to be hanged till you die.
Robin Hood was led away and put into a cell. Next day, he was brought for hanging. A large crowd had gathered, and among them stood Robin Hood's men.
Guards, get ready.
Just as the rope was put around Robin, his men shot the rope. Robin and his men galloped away into the forest.
Catch them! Don't let them get away!
You should have not gone there, Robin.
Don't worry, brother. This time also, we have proved them that we are better than what they are.
They heard galloping sound. A group of monks were passing by.
Welcome to the forest. Give me your bags.
The money we carry is for the king.
In that case, you can go. Anyone who's king's friend is also our friend.
You seem to be a nice man.
We all are. We are waiting for our King Richard to return.
Your waiting is over.
What do you mean?
King Richard removed his cloak and revealed himself. Everyone was delighted to see the king back.
I have heard a lot about you, Robin. Now I can see that it's all true.
Oh, my lord, I'm happy for you. But Sir Prince John's coronation is tomorrow.
We will take care of that.
Next day, just when the prince was ready for the celebration, Robin Hood and his men came in with King Richard.
King Richard is back.
What?
Guards, arrest Prince John and his men.
The prince and his followers were banished from the land.
Robin, thanks for taking care of my people.
It's my duty, lord. Now grant me permission to leave to the forest.
Yes, Robin, you may go now. But remember, you will have to come whenever your presence is needed.
And once again, Robin lived his whole life of adventure and freedom, helping the poor and the needy. Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe was a very brave young man who loved adventures. When he was 19 years old, he left his home and went on to travel in sea. While traveling, there was a great storm and the ship started to sink. Robinson managed to reach up the land. When he woke up, he found that he was not alone.
Oh, little fellow.
The little dog was also saved in the storm.
Looks like we both are left all alone. Come, let's explore the place.
Robinson found the wrecked ship. He took some food, guns, clothing and tools from the ship. He made a tent and lived in it. He erected a wooden cross and carved the day on it. Thereafter, he was able to keep a calendar. Robinson found several kinds of goats and hares which he shot and ate. When he explored the island further, he found melons, apples and lime trees.
These fruits will keep me alive.
One morning,
Help me! Somebody help!
That fellow must be in danger.
he took out his gun and shot twice. The tribesmen were scared, left the young fellow and ran away.
Why did those men try to kill you?
We are all tribesmen. But these group of men kill people and eat them. Today they have caught me.
What is your name?
We don't have names.
Since we have met on a Friday, I will call you Friday. At last, I have a human friend.
Robinson taught Friday to shoot and eat civilized. They lived happily until one day.
Master, there is a ship coming this side.
What? A ship coming to this island? We have to be careful. Come on, let's hide and see.
3 men got down from the ship. They had 2 other men with hands tied up.
Now come on, Captain. Give us the keys or we will have to kill you.
So what I thought is correct. The pirates have taken the ship.
Robinson and Friday waited till the pirates relaxed. Then they attacked them. They shot dead all the pirates.
Thank you, gentlemen, for saving our lives. How did you come to this island?
Robinson narrated the whole incident
Don't worry, we can now live in my ship.
At last, after 28 years, 2 months, and 19 days on the island, Robinson was rescued. They all set sail for England. Robinson started his life once again. Friday stayed with him. After many years, the urge for adventures drove Robinson to set again for another voyage. But this time, he had his companion Friday with him. Simba the Sailor. Once upon a time, in the city of Baghdad, there lived a rich merchant called Sinbad. He was famously known as Simba the Sailor, for he loved to travel in sea. Sinbad joined a batch of merchants and sailed with them to a faraway land. Days passed by, and one day they were caught in a terrible storm and the ship was broken. Sinbad and 2 of the merchants were saved.
I'm afraid this is the giant's land.
What?
Yes, and one-eyed giant lives here. He eats the animals or humans, whomever he sees.
Let's take rest at that cave.
Suddenly they heard a noise. A black, fearful giant came. He was tall as a palm tree and had only one eye placed in the center of his forehead. He was so frightful that the men could do nothing.
A human.
He picked up the merchant, who was the fattest, and went away.
We should do something or we will also die. Hakim, come along with me.
They both followed the giant. He came to a place and stopped. The giant ate the man and went off to sleep. Sinbad and Hakim explored the place.
This is the famous Diamond Valley. Earlier, merchants used to come here to take these gems. But now, because of this giant, no one dares to come here.
The giant was in a deep sleep. Suddenly, they heard a noise. There appeared a man dressed in rags. He got scared on seeing Sinbad and Hakim.
Don't be afraid, we will not harm you.
And how did you happen to be on this island?
Last night, we were shipwrecked and we landed here. By the way, who are you?
4 years back, I came to this island looking for diamonds. And this giant has got me as his prisoner now.
How do we get rid of this monster?
There is only one way. Look at this cave. Inside, you will find a sword. You will have to get it. Only with that sword, you can kill the giant.
We will go immediately.
You cannot take the sword easily. It's guarded by a ferocious snake.
I will take care of it.
Sinbad went inside and found a big snake lying there. Sinbad took out his sword and killed it before even the snake could get up. He took the sword and came out. The giant was snoring loudly and sleeping. Sinbad went close and jabbed the sword into the giant's eye. It roared in pain and died.
Hurrah! We are saved!
We have to find a way out. Let's go to the shore.
There was plenty of wood available near the shore-side. Everyone worked together and made small rafts. Once it was ready, they all took the gems and set sail. After a few days at sea, they spotted a ship passing by.
Look, there's a ship! Help! Help!
The ship came near and took them. Finally, they returned to Baghdad. Sinbad went home and lived happily with his wife. Treasure Island. This story is about a boy called Jim Hawkins. Jim Hawkins lived with his parents, who owned an inn by the seashore. One day, a tall and heavy sailor with a scar across his cheek visited the inn.
Do many people stay here?
No, not many, sir.
Then this would be the place for me. My name is Billy Bones, and you can call me Captain.
So, Billy stayed in the inn happily. One evening, a blind man visited Billy. He handed over a paper to him. One glance at the paper and Billy fell down dead.
No!
Come, let's look into his steel chest for some money. They took some gold coins and a bag bundled with some papers in it.
This looks like a map. I'll meet our family Dr. Livesey and tell him about this bundle.
When Jim reached the doctor's place, the sheriff was also there. Jim narrated the whole incident to both the men. The doctor opened the bundle and there fell out a map of an island.
This map is the route to the Skeleton Island, where Mr. Flint has buried his treasure many years ago. Let's go to this place. This should be a secret maintained among us.
Next day, they hired a ship named Hispaniola and set sail for the island. On board, Jim met a man with one leg, Mr. Long John Silver. He was the cook for the ship.
Mr. Long seems to be very jolly and a kind man.
On the last day of the journey, Jim was passing by the apple barrel when he heard some noise.
Tomorrow I will take the map from Doctor and look out for the treasure.
Long John is a pirate. I should inform this to Sheriff and Doctor.
At that moment, the land appeared. Jim slipped out of the barrel and ran to Dr. Livesey and Sheriff. He told whatever he had overheard.
We should carry on normally. Let's be patient till the treasure is found.
Jim jumped into their boat and went along. As soon as they reached the land, Jim jumped out and ran into the forest. He saw something move. He went close to it and to his surprise, it was a man.
Who are you?
I am Ben Gunn. I have been living alone in this island for past 3 years.
We have come here looking for a treasure. Unfortunately, bad people are trying to take it from us.
I know the place where the treasure is. I will help you.
Gunfire sounds started coming up and Ben ran away. When Jim reached the ship, he found that the sheriff and Mr. Long John were engaged in a fierce battle. At last, Mr. Long won the battle and he captured Jim.
You have to come with me, Jim. Your friends have lost the battle.
As they were walking, they came across a skeleton and a big hole in the ground.
This is the place. Come on, dig up.
You have cheated us. There is no gold here. We will kill you, Mr. Long, and this little fellow.
As they were about to shoot, Dr. Livesey, Sheriff and Ben Gunn came there. The pirates were scared and ran away.
You came just in time to save us. Thank you.
Ben had found the treasure and stored it in his cave long before.
Let's get going.
They took the treasure and shared among themselves. Next day, the ship set for sail.
I will never forget this adventure.